Welcome back to Hazardous Endeavors.
Huzzah, I say.
What did you say?
Huzzah.
Huzzah?
Huzzah.
I heard
that,
huzzah.
but with a little bit more exclamation at the end.
No.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Right.
Aha!
Where we last left our intrepid adventurers, you were at the temple to Pelor in the center of Kelenhall. Brother Euclid had just mentioned that there was something that he might be able to do for you that might assist you in ending the evil.
Our foolish plan to try and muck up whatever this ritual that's doing the thing with the undead things.
How well known is the Dawnguard? Is it just something from times past that very few people are aware of?
It's something that the Church of Pelor uses as kind of like the people who were, again, directly chosen for leadership positions by Kelenhall Brightblade during the War of Ascension. The Dawnguard were looked at as like paragons of virtue. They were looked at as the defenders of not just the faith, because Kelenhall chose people from all over of many different backgrounds, but the defenders of what is good and righteous in the world.
Okay, would this be something that I would be familiar with? Yes,
you've heard stories of the Dawnguard, because whereas the names of the individuals have not been recorded, or at least have been lost to
the sands of time, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the existence of the Dawnguard themselves is something that is still understood by, at minimum, people who are raised in the Church of Pelor, and the few scholars here and there who remember, oh yeah, they were kind of a footnote in history when compared to literal gods.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was for the reasoning for my reaction at the end of the last.
So like,
yeah.
Local fairy tales?
Kind of. The tales of heroes of antiquity, basically.
So you're telling me that if we wear these things, that we would be paragons of valor?
No, I'm having an issue with this. You said fairy tales. You know fairies most of the time don't have tails, right?
Well, it depends on the fairy.
They've got
true.
like...
You would definitely not be a paragon of virtue. You'd be a paragon of something. I'm just not sure
valor.
what. Valor. Close enough.
Right. So Brother Euclid starts to lead you guys down a series of corridors that lead off from the side of the main great hall of the church. And he leads you down a series of stairs, down a kind of a dusty old hallway that you can look over and you see some of the rooms in there are like stacked with scrolls on desks, but everything has been pushed to the sides, and you see refugees from around the capital city have taken up semi-permanent residence there, and or at least they're keeping people fed and warm, and they're using the excess room that they have to make sure that people have a place to be. But as you guys make your way through this room, you end up at another door to which Brother Euclid pulls out a key. This particular key looks like it actually has a bit of blood smudged on it. And he actually looks very sad as he pulls it out and notices it again. And then kind of with a shaky hand puts the key into the lock, mutters a quick prayer to Pelor, and turns the lock, which opens with a nice dull thunk on the other side.
I put my hand on his shoulder. What is wrong, Brother Euclid?
This was our dear father's. It was his duty to protect the reliquary key. He fell in the early hours. He handed the key to me as his last breath. He made me swear that I would protect it, and this is the best way I know how.
By giving it to us?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to do a good thing with this, I think. Yes.
Hopefully.
Yes.
If you are not successful, then Kelenhall will fall, and the artifacts will be lost either way. This is our greatest hope.
Agreed.
And with that, he pushes the door open, and you are looking down yet another set of stairs. And as you're starting to make your way down, you note that the torches that are set into sconces on either side of this stairway light up very slowly as you're descending down. And you end up in what looks to be, It looks to be like an armory that you would find in any sort of castle or keep. A set of weapon racks, armor stands with suits on them, several shelves with various items laid about on them. It looks like everything in here has been kept very clean and very well preserved. But all of the things you're seeing in here, everything that you're seeing, all the weapons, all the armor, they look like they were just made. So it looks like someone walked down here, threw them up on there like an hour before you got here.
Shiny.
But you also note that there are many of the armor stands and weapon racks that lay empty. Only a few particular pieces here and there.
As we start walking down the stairs, I start quietly singing a hymn to help usher the dead onto the next.
Okay.
Onto
Brother
the
Euclid joins you.
I touch the armors.
Okay.
Of course you do.
They're
of
shiny.
course.
The armor that you're seeing is looks to have kind of a reddish gold hue to the metal. There's a set of splint mail, there's a breastplate and the accoutrement around it. You see a set of studded leather where all of the studs are kind of this rose gold kind of color. And every single thing you see in here is emblazoned with a symbol that is a shining sun on a golden shield. As he walks in, he motions to the room and says that it would be best for you to gather what you can use.
All right.
Okay, do you think how many pieces of armor do you think I could fit on my entire body? In layers.
No, don't layer them.
Why not? Is it more protected that way, right?
No, it's just going to encumber you and
They
make
put the
you
leather
less
armor
effective on the
and then
field.
They studded leather on, and then a breastplate, and then more armor, and then I would be ultimately protected from the undead.
Lindo,
Yes,
no.
I disagree.
Take what you need, no more.
Take all the fun out of these
Right.
things.
Well, this here looks like it might fit me. I'm going to pick up that breastplate and try strapping that on. And oh, look, it comes with a lovely codpiece. Very shiny.
Yes, and
It's
of
a little
course,
bigger than you'll need, don't you think?
as you're
Are you really going to start that conversation?
Every day.
Proportionately, I'm practically a tripod.
And with that, the reverence of the moment is sustained. As you pick up the breastplate, you note that it is a little lighter than you were expecting it to be. And as you're holding it and starting to make him put it on, it starts to slowly resize till as you're putting it on, it
It got smaller.
fitting just right.
While these jackanapes are just tittering away over there,
Yeah.
silently, reverently removing the armor that I'm currently wearing, going for the splint mail.
Okay. The same thing. It almost feels like it was made for you. It doesn't have to change very much to fit you, but as you do, it feels almost warm on your skin and just feels, for you especially, very comfortable, like you're wearing a second skin.
Very nice. Very good.
I ignore the armor and look at the weapons racks.
Okay. Making your way over to the weapons racks, you'll note that there seem to be a small handful of, like, there's a couple short swords, long swords, but they seem a little bit more tarnished and dull. Mm-hmm. Very specifically on one of the weapon racks alone is a single longsword that is shiny, new, and seems to almost at this point be kind of pulsating just the very briefest amount of this kind of radiant energy.
Pulsating.
And then what catches your eye off to the corner is there is a single rack on the wall that is holding a long staff that is a gold inlaid kind of reddish wood staff.
Mm-hmm. I go after that thing.
Okay. You reach up and you grab it, and you feel for a moment as if it's too hot to touch. Mm-hmm. You grab it, and you almost like reflexively remove your hand from it. But as you grab it, you can feel that the staff itself kind of cools slightly. And you note that the wood actually, from the reddish tinge that it had, you start to see what look like veins of blue start to kind of emanate from your hands to each end of the staff, leaving the rose gold inlay, but darkening the color of the wood. And it almost feels like it's now radiating just a little bit of cold.
Cool.
Literally.
Very nice,
That's
very
pretty
nice.
cool.
Everybody is walking around and getting their things, and so I see in the far corner a fair length of studded armor, and I take a liking to it.
Okay. As you make your way over, the same thing. You remove your existing armor.
Slowly.
That's right. As you put on the studded leather, you note that it comes with the gauntlets and the boots and the various other bits that come along with it.
I like it when my accessories match.
And you note that of all the armor in here, those particular pieces seem to have a little bit of flair to the corners. Whereas, say, the gloves that Jaxom is putting on are somewhat utilitarian. Yours actually have little rose gold tips to the edges. A little bit of extra flair.
With a little bit of flair.
And again, you put it on, it feels nice and warm. It's somewhat cool in this room, but as you put the armor on, you're very comfortable.
Is anybody else getting like a warm, tingly sensation?
No.
I'm just wonder if this is like, diseased or cursed.
I don't think it's cursed. I think it's sort of the opposite. It's
The Euclid
blessed.
winces.
The last time I put on clothes, and I got the warm, tingly sensation.
We don't need to hear about the last time you went into. What have I told you? Always bring a scroll of magic detection into a whorehouse.
That's fair, and I learned my lesson.
Brother Euclid, at this point, by the way, is looking around, and he seems almost confused, but in a very reverent sort of way. Like, he's just positively astounded by what he's seeing, and he looks over, because Jaxom, kind of looking quizzically at him for a moment, he says, 2 weeks ago, when people came to clean, all of everything in here was tarnished. It didn't... Things were showing signs of their obvious age, but we did not know that the equipment has restored itself such as this. This is a miracle.
Things have a tendency to try to look their best in my presence.
This is indeed a very miraculous happening.
It happened so... It must have happened within the past week or two. I was down here. What must have happened?
Brother Euclid, I mean, these are all supposedly God-touched things, right?
He nods.
Wouldn't it make sense that, Pelor wouldn't want to, show the goods when it's not necessarily needed?
Would it make sense, Wilf? Would it make sense, Mr. I do not believe in the gods?
He could be an ostentatious alien if he wants.
Do you think this may have anything to do with...
You kind of hold your arm up and show the bracer.
The bracers.
I think it might. When we found those bracers, a large light exploded out, and that's only been about 4 days ago.
Let's see, actually, by this point, you guys have been gone for...
It would be about 5 or 6 days ago.
Yeah, it's almost about a week and a half, give or take. Mm-hmm. So he looks at your bracers and says, when you came to do research on the armor of the Brightblade, you did mention that there was a pulse. Perhaps the discovery of the armor activated these other artifacts. He kind of looks down at the ground and seems almost like calculating for a moment and says, but what might happen if more pieces are discovered?
We'll have to find out.
Yay?
Indeed.
He nods, and as you guys are gathering up your gear...
Sounds like an experiment.
Replace my longsword with the one on the rack.
Okay. And he comes over to Wilf and Lindo with 2 bundles of kind of a deep red cloth. And he places them in your hands and says that these may suit you well as additions to what you have.
I flip it open.
Thank you.
And you're looking at a very well-made cloak. Again, with the symbol of the Dawnguard over the left breast.
Hey, if we're going to go on this crazy mission, we might as well go on in style.
I put it on. Do I look dashing? I bellow it. I flip. I twirl around.
It billows nicely.
Eh?
I hate
Eh?
to say, but yeah.
Yeah.
You-
Ready's my color,
You
right?
cut it, yeah.
All right. So as you guys gather up your equipment and whatever is left there, Brother Euclid promises that the door will remain locked and sealed till his final moments, if it comes to it. But
Much appreciated.
He leads you guys back out of the sanctum there, back into the main. I was going to say atrium. I know that's wrong.
I feel like we should all slow walk, like in a row, toward the castle.
I think it's just going to happen naturally.
You know, with like maybe some wind in the background and maybe like a rock ballad playing. Eh? Eh? What do
Right.
you think?
That would be
Yeah,
neat,
no,
but
I
I
can-
think
I'll
that
believe
would
that.
also alert all the zombies in the city.
That's okay. We won't even look at them. We'll just punch sideways and they will die.
That's not how life works, Lindo.
It's all right. It's all right.
So as you make your way back up to the main open room of the church, you know, several of the other surviving clergy look at you guys, eyes wide, and immediately start saying prayers to Pelor. You see at least one tear falling as someone realizes what's happening, and Brother Euclid gathers them, mentions to them that this is our best chance of survival, and that if there were ever a time for the Dawnguard to save the day, it would be this day.
I really hope we don't disappoint these people because it's going to be bad.
No,
We'll do what needs to be done.
We will
will.
not. We will prevail.
But I think we should spend about an hour and 10 or so minutes just sitting.
You guys, okay, so kind of, you guys take your rest, you take a look at all of your equipment, and you do what you need to do. You plan for what you're going to do. So, Bale will explain what the situation is like out in the town with roving bands of undead. They seem to gather into groups and then kind of swarm over the particular neighborhoods. And, you know, aside from when they're battering at the walls of the church, you know, they're very loose leadership out in the city. They're just mobs of them, and they so far have not seen anyone out there commanding them. So if you're making your way to the actual castle, it may be best for you to take some of the back alleys and perhaps some of the more subtle directions, and that he can get you and he kind of, you look at the sling that his arm is in. He mentions that he can get you to the servants' entrance of the castle, because the main exit is, shall we say, unassailable.
Well, Bale, if you go out there, you're gonna die. You don't even have both your arms. Can you, like, draw us a map or something?
He nods. He says, I can do that, yes.
I'm just saying. Sorry. Besides, you've got the most martial training of everyone else in this entire building. You're going to end up having to be the last line of defense for these people.
He nods solemnly and says that you are right. I leave this in your hands, as he goes to draw basically a crude map of the area between the church and the castle itself.
Wilf, that was so thoughtful of you.
Well, I mean, also, if we're going to be trying to sneak by, Bale's one of those heavy armor sorts. We're going to have enough trouble getting you snuck past all this horde of undead.
All right, Jaxom.
I don't think it'd be good for our continued survival.
I doubt we're going to make it there without being caught in the first place. We are not a group of sneaky people.
And there's the wolf we know.
I'm just saying, it's optimization. Also, people are looking. We can
I
look
thought
nice.
something might have been a little uncharacteristic.
I was.
How do you say that word?
People are looking.
Uncharacteristic.
People are looking. Yeah.
Character.
Istic.
Uncharacteristic.
Right.
Excellent.
I'm going to sit down and start working on the ritual for the my ward.
Okay. You're able to do that, take care of that pretty much right after your rest. And as you feel that the staff is kind of like linking to you as you're attuning to it, and it almost looks like there is now inlaid ice along the wood, alongside the kind of the rose gold. So,
part of my rest, obviously, will be spent in prayer and meditation.
The entire time you are meditating in your prayer, you note that the longsword you've taken is giving off a very dull glow, but seems to get a little bit brighter with each moment, till by the end, as you're holding it, you note that it's actually giving off a decent amount of light.
Part of my short rest is I play out some music for the people, try to lift their spirits a little bit, and tell a little song about people who prevail over something very scary.
Okay, yeah, give me a roll.
Does it sound like Captain Bale? He's our hero.
He's gonna take the Undead down to 0. He's a power magnified, and he's fighting on Pelor's side.
Yeah, see, there.
Pelor, for his part, just kind of stares at you aghast.
15.
Okay, decent.
I am a Dawnguard, and you can be one too. Because being a Dawnguard is the thing to do.
Boozing and debauchery is not the way. Hear what Captain Bale has to say.
And he
Please just get on with it. And on that note, you finished your rest. Your song is well received by the people, if not by Captain Bale himself.
Or myself.
Or
It's almost like that
Jaxom.
particular song has healing powers.
Yeah, it's almost like,
Yeah.
anyone who is needing to use themselves some dice to heal adds a d6. D8.
Well, you could say that the spirits in the church are raised and not in the way they are outside the walls. Oh. Hey, so as you guys gather your things and you're planning to leave, Brother Euclid provides you with the access to the side door to the actual church itself, and says that we'll wait until the moment when it is clearest and you can make your way into the shadows of the alleys across.
Many thanks.
He wishes the blessings of Pelor be upon you, that whatever gods you speak to, may they watch over you, for this is it.
This is it.
And with that, you guys wait in silence for a few moments. The door opens, and you guys rush out into the night. As you are making your way following Bale's map, go ahead and give me stealth checks with advantage.
Scene looks like it's been written by a 5-year-old.
So just a stealth check. Got it.
Yeah. As dice disappear all around the floor. All right.
12.
Okay.
18.
16.
1.
I'm so proud of you.
That was...
Not a natural 1.
Right, because you roll a
but
2 and a
1.
-1 from your...
Yes.
In
Right
the
then.
dark of the night, evil will
Heavy
find
armor
us.
has
Fine.
disadvantage on stealth.
Right, yeah. Okay then, so...
Don't have an option.
As you're following Bale's map and you're
And
making your
that's
way...
where Bale would have died as well.
As you're making your way through behind some of the houses, you can definitely see that this is one of the routes that they would have taken to do patrols for the guards. And as you're making your way around one particular corner of the alleyway, at the end of the alleyway you see a group of undead who happen to be just passing by. And as you guys stop and take a moment to let them pass, Jaxom, you come walking around the corner and you knock over a small stack of crates that hit the ground and shatter. To which the people at the other end, or the undead that are there, they stop, and 2 of the skeletons and a zombie kind of stop and turn and look into the alleyway.
Let
This
go,
isn't the way
Jaxom.
we're supposed to go. This is obviously a dead end.
We knew this was going to happen.
What, that you would fall on things?
Jaxom draws his sword, and the skeletons do the same as initiative is rolled.
Blades out.
Here we go!
Okay. Woo! Well, you know, these things happen.
Initiative.
We are not a sneaky party.
We are not. But,
No.
I mean, theoretically, we've got half the party is actually pretty good at sneaking.
Yes, but you are also the half the party also doesn't much care for sneaking and likes to shout to the rooftops where they are.
You're just envious of our vivacious lifestyles.
I cannot hide this voice. It is too beautiful. Listen to it. Ha 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 ha.
Since you're in an alleyway, there really is only about 10 feet of space
Oh,
between
good.
the walls of the building.
So our numerical disadvantage is slightly mollified.
Yeah, so let me go ahead and get your initiative totals. Wilf,
That'd be a 13.
13. Jaxom.
13.
Ooh, Lindo.
Ha ha ha. Are you ready?
Yeah.
13.
Elliot.
8.
Okay.
Oh,
Way to throw
break
it off.
Yeah.
Lindo, I believe we have to do a roll-off because you've got the same dex as I do.
You have a 16?
I have a 16.
Alright, let's do it.
I rolled a 17.
I rolled a 9.
So I think I shall be going before Lindo
I believe you are.
this time.
This
Okay.
time,
So at this
Wilf.
point, it is going to be Wilf, then Lindo, then Jaxom, then Elliot, and then the skeletons.
I like how we don't even ask Jackson.
And Jaxom, everybody looks at Jaxom and goes,
Okay.
okay, so not you.
So Wilf, they are about 20 feet away from you, down the alleyway.
I, while drawing my swords,
Yeah.
sprint forward 20 feet and to get up and in to shred the first one with a hack going for, you know, the clavicle bit
Okay.
there.
You run up and start swinging.
Clavicle beat around.
There. Yeah. Right. Anyways, choppy. And I think that's probably going to do with a 19.
Yeah, so 19 absolutely hits.
And he can get himself a nice sound 8 damage.
Okay, so you rush up, you swing one of your cutlass down, and you hack right into its clavicle, tearing the front of its rib cage down as whatever was magics are holding it together fail, and it crumbles to the ground in a clatter of bones.
And then I try to make an upward slash with my second attack just towards the armpit, heading towards the upper bits
Okay.
on the next one, because it sounds like a good place to put it.
Sure.
Hey,
With lack of a vital spot, you know. it's-
armpits connected to
22
the upper
probably is
bits.
going to do it.
Absolutely.
You know, just maybe.
These skeletons definitely seem to have the same issue that the previous ones did, where they don't seem to be
Very strong.
as held together as the ones that were in the ancient lighthouse.
They should take more calcium.
I guess. Yeah, a little osteoporosis there.
It takes some additional
That's
folic
a 7
acid.
damage, yeah.
7? Okay, same thing happens with that one. You hack up into it with your cutlass and just spray open the bones, catching a little bit of its spine as you do so, and it just falls apart.
Goodbye.
And I use my bonus action.
Yeah?
Hey, Jaxom.
Yes.
Smash him good.
All right.
To give him an inspiration, doll.
Okay, so Jaxom, you have an inspiration die. Lindo, it is your turn.
Okay, so I move up
That's a D8.
all the way up to these skellies.
You're right at the entrance, basically, to the alleyway. There are some out in the actual road itself, but several of them seem to have already moved on, so you're only looking at maybe like 5 or 6 that have stopped to fight you.
Got you. And with a flourish of my sword and La Rosa, I swing at the first one. Shasha!
All right, roll it.
8 plus 6.
8 plus 6 will hit. That's a 14.
Huzzah! Am I next to my buddies to sneaky sneak?
Okay. Yes, you are next to an ally, so you are able to...
Oh, Okay, so
Yeah.
I think I killed it like
I can see
tenfold.
I can see those box scars from here.
Okay, so we do 12, and then we do plus an 8, plus
Okay, 20.
a 3, plus a 1.
24 damage.
Plus
your
3.
Yeah, okay. So you slip La Rosa between the ribs, give it a twist, and once again, clatter of bones
Look
as
at the wrist and give it the
the
twist.
skeleton just clatters out all over the alleyway and road beyond.
Oh, I've got to.
Well, that was unexpected. I might as well get your friend.
Indeed.
Huzzah! And they slash directly alongside of it and into the other with the total of 18 plus 6. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Boop, doop, doo. 1. Wait, 1.
1 damage. Okay, funny enough, yes, that it actually does fell it. So as you kind of give it the backhand slash, as this one, it just kind of looks like it's reaching up with a sword like it's going to attack you, and you just catch it right in the vertebra under the skull,
It'll just boop its snoot.
and it just falls apart.
Hey guys, I think we can half-ass this.
Elliot, you're starting to get the idea that whoever did this, you have to be fairly early on in this ritual, because nothing here seems to be fully infused with the power that normally the undead would have.
Interesting.
So between you can't really necessarily say that because the ghouls you fought earlier were decently powerful, but the vast majority of the zombies and the skeletons you've seen are just barely clinging on to undeath.
I might say something about that eventually.
Okay.
This armor must
Jaxom.
be amazing.
I stride forward towards the middle of them, just yelling, "How dare you defile my city and attack my citizens!"
I think he's got his dander up.
A little
And
bit.
just start hacking away,
Okay.
just going right for the throats and the upper chests.
Okay. So you have a zombie and a skeleton in melee with you.
Okay, I will take we'll take on the zombie first.
Okay.
That's a crit.
Okay.
I don't
let's-
think you need to use the inspiration dice on that one.
Let's see the damage.
No. And that's
Just a little extra
4
damage for all of
D8
these things that just go kaput
plus
in
3.
one.
Yep.
That would be 23 damage.
Okay. The skeleton, you just basically cleave from shoulder to waist, and just the body slaps to the ground like wet meat.
I follow through with that swing, bring it around back, and go after the zombie.
Okay. Oh, that would be the...
The other-
Right.
Yeah.
Got you.
That would be an 11.
On the zombie? Yes.
11.
Okay. Yeah.
11.
Once again, you
11.
note that your sword flares brightly as it comes in contact with the undead flesh, and what looks almost like radiant flame issues out of the sword as it contacts.
Oh,
Hey, Lindo, I think he likes it.
I think he does.
We are on a holy purpose.
We're
Elliot.
unholy something. Look at you.
All right, I think it's time to feel the bitter bite of cold. I will attack one of the things that are left.
Okay, so you have a zombie and a skeleton left.
I will do the zombie so that the ice slowly crawls up the body.
Okay.
And this is frostbite, so I need you to roll a
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw.
A Constitution saving throw. Oh, that is actually a 20 total.
Oh, well, that was my turn.
Okay, so you pull forth the power of your frost, and it starts to crawl up, and the zombie doesn't seem to even notice it as it kind of stumbles forward. As their turn starts, the skeleton runs over to Jaxom, whereas the zombie makes his way over towards Elliot. So Jaxom, skeleton is swinging a rusted old sword down at you. It looks like it rolled a 15.
No, it's not going to do anything.
Okay. The zombie, on the other hand, is swinging at Elliot. That is a 9.
Nope.
Right. So their turn is just about as effective as it might have been, and Wilf is back to you.
I scramble right by Lindo, get up and defend
hello.
Elliot.
Okay.
Trying to take yon zombie through that throat box thing.
All right.
And that is a 21.
Yes, absolutely hit.
Indeed. He takes 8.
Takes 8. This one, as you stab up into it, it kind of recoils slightly, but stays standing.
Well, that's okay, because I've got my second attack.
Okay.
And that's a natural 20.
All right, then.
And
Explodes
let's
on contact.
roll that beautiful beam footage.
Okay, what do we got?
That is 11.
Okay, 11 is enough to bring it down as you remove its head from its body, crumpling down to the ground.
Right, and yeah.
All right, Lindo.
Hello.
There's one skeleton left.
Well, I obviously can't have Wilf kill all these skellies, so I zoom up in front of him and I'm like, hello, skelly! And I whip out La Rosa and I smack it in the butt.
Okay.
Do. But not successfully, or maybe.
Okay, what was
8.
your... 8 is unfortunately not enough.
That's okay, I got my sidey
It
side arm.
deflected off its coccyx.
Right off the coccyx.
Indeed.
Okay, 19.
Yes.
4.
Okay, plus your sneak attack because you have an ally within 5 feet of it.
Okay, 6 times 4.
Okay, yeah, it goes down.
Plus 4.
28.
Plus 4.
32.
There you go.
Right then, so glorious bone explosion. Got it.
Glorious bone explosion.
I'll take that in the
It
coccyx.
just turns into dust.
Right. So you clear away the undead that have come down the alleyway at you. You note that there still is kind of the tail end of the mob that has continued down the street, but you have a clear line to run to the alleyway on the opposite end.
Let's get to that alleyway, shall we?
That one?
Yes.
Yeah.
I need
Okay.
one more set of the advantage stealth checks, please. Okay. What do we got?
12.
Lindo?
A natural 20 plus a 3.
Okay. Elliot?
No, sorry, plus a 6.
12. Okay.
5.
5. Okay.
Natural 20 plus a 4.
Okay. You know
Why?
what? I will actually give the fact that there were 2 natural 20s that will offset the 5.
Thank
So
you. Very helpful.
We'll say that they were not only stealthy enough to stop them, but as you're making your way down another alleyway, you turn and you knock a flower pot off of the eave of somebody's windowsill.
I throw myself on the ground and I catch it.
Yeah, Wilf and Lindo just kind of stop it from falling and gently lower it to the ground, giving you looks.
You got this, okay. No, just lower.
What?
Okay.
Softly.
And you continue your way along, making your way to the outside wall of the castle where the servants' entrance is hidden, kind of off a small path through some brush.
Not snaky.
Upon reaching the servants' entrance, you note that it is open. The door is open wide, and as you look through, you look and see that there was obviously a fight on the other side. And it did not go well for whoever was there.
What if it was one guy with 6 swords?
No, it had to be 6 guys, each with 1.
Right. Well, whoever was there, their bodies aren't there, but there is
was
a decent
blade
amount.
fight.
There's a decent amount of blood arrayed around, so you guys are pretty sure that whoever died here didn't stay down for long.
Oh, that sucks.
They got knocked down, but they got back up again.
And they're never gonna keep him down.
No. Well, until we kill them. Again.
Let's go head in there.
So since you guys had arrived at the castle before, when you were there for the banquet, you actually have a fairly easy time locating an entrance into the keep itself. And as you're making your way through, kind of up some of the surrounding battlements and the stairways that lead up towards the center, you'll note that there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of movement inside the castle itself. It is fairly quiet. So
Hello.
as you're making your way, though, you're kind of heading towards the throne room. And you make your way out into the entrance hall, right in front of the double doors that lead into the actual throne room itself, and you hear what sounds inside almost like pleading, like someone is. You can hear someone talking, but it's muffled through the doors.
I put my ear to the door.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check.
I'll put my head next to the door, right below Lindo.
Okay.
14.
14. All right. And Wilf?
A 19 because I rolled a 19 and I've got it.
All right.
Not
So
good
proud
suit.
of you.
You two are listening at the door, and you hear a man's voice saying, "No, we were loyal. We served you. Why would you do this?"
Oh, bustin'. It's bustin'.
I kick the door in.
Okay, so you step forward.
Thank you.
Jaxom's heavy boot hits the door square in the middle. Doors fly open, and what you see is a man on his knees, seeming a little malnourished, definitely has seen better days, hair dirty, got blood spattered on him from here and there, and he's pleading with a tall, imposing figure in what looks to be battle plate, just etched all to the nines. We're talking what look like runes along the edges. You see a glorious cloak flowing down off the back in royal purples. And you see what looks to be at first the face of a younger man. You see a very angled jaw, very strong chin, and eyes that are absolutely dead.
Too bad he's evil.
Just full black eyes.
Black eyes, like a doll's
And
eyes.
a hair,
Now it's creepy,
a head
thank
of a head of white hair flowing back under what looks to be a golden crown, and that's when you realize that standing in front of the kneeling man is King Horus Westing, and he's standing there holding what looks to be a greatsword, as the man in front of him looks back and almost has this moment of "I'm saved," as King Westing lifts the sword and very smoothly swings it down and neatly bisects the man from shoulder to hip.
No!
And he swings the sword out, splaying blood across the symbol of Dariel hanging on a banner off to one side of the room. As he looks,
Your Majesty, why would you kill that dude? Where is your wife?
he... His wife? Oh,
Yeah.
yes, right.
Yeah, his wife.
So King Westing definitely looks a little bit different than the last time you saw him. He seems again to look a little younger, but almost more gaunt, and his skin is a little bit paler. And he stands there and he looks at you, and this look of sadness comes down over his face.
Knowledge religion?
You may indeed roll knowledge religion.
Can I too?
You can certainly attempt it.
I actually have religion, so I can.
Yeah.
I will do that.
How about? All right, Lindo.
14.
Okay. Elliot.
22.
22.
Same.
22.
22.
All right, the two of you recognize that. First off, Lindo, you recognize that he definitely seems more undead than the last time you saw him.
Huh.
The two of you realize he is a white.
Hey, Will. Oh. Does he look a little more undead than the last time we saw him?
Well, I mean, he looked not a lot
That's
alive
not
last
great.
time we saw him in the first place, but he looks to have a little...
He
He got more chiseled, that's
he
for
looks
sure.
out over your group, and he says, "Adventurers, it saddens me that you are here. It saddens me more that I must do what I must do.
It is okay, King. We will stop we'll stop this madness. Feel thy flickering flames."
As he holds his sword ready, and as you guys are gearing up, drawing weaponry and ready to square off
are
in
we
the
killing
throne
the king?
room against King Horus Westing, that is where we will end for this episode. Thank you for joining us, Digidicers, and until next episode,
Game
on,
Internets!